What is up, YouTube? McIntyre here. Today I wanted to bring you guys a team fight breakdown video. Today's game that we're going to be focusing on is Fnatic versus Ballistics. This is going to be on the map Warhead Junction. A lot of you guys remember this game from BlizzCon, as it was one of the most exciting games of the tournament, to say the least. So I wanted to go over the team fights of this game, go over the exciting moments, and kind of break those fights down and talk about what went wrong for Team A and what went right for Team B, right? So that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. We'll probably watch the game or the team fight through, and then I'll slow it down, we'll pause, we'll break, and we'll talk about what exactly is happening and things that I really like and things that I don't like. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you in the video. Okay, so with this fight, we're going to be hopping in. This is going to be the first fight that I think is very exciting. And one thing that I want to point out to you guys before we start watching is going to be Quacknix and how aggressive he plays in this fight. I think a lot of his aggression actually causes a lot of disruption for Ballistics, and I don't think they really respected the auto attack damage from Falstad. And you can also see Quacknix really trust his supports and his team to protect him if he plays aggressively. The other thing to note is that both teams are going to have a member on their team die, and the fight goes so long that both of these members come back, okay? And because these members are missing, it's going to alter both teams' team fight a little bit. We're going to just watch it right now, and you will hear the cast of Dread and Gilly. I think it is exciting to listen to, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
As well, that was a very big play coming out from Nacho in there. Very heads up, map awareness, and barrel roll in here from Quacknix.
Ancestral healing has to be used in the back. No left stage dives in, and Fnatic are split apart. Wubby dying. Azirato going down too. That's a 1-for-1.
It's a 1-for-1 trade here, which is going to be big. Storm, Earth, and Fire comes out. Schwimpy's going to get the dash. He's looking towards Noblesse. Quacknix is trying to stop his retreat. He does have a nuke here. So does Swoy. Quacknix is in a bad spot. Power slide, great cleanse is going to help him. He barrel rolls over the wall.
And that will be Quacknix getting away. SCSC starting to take damage. The fight is not over, though. There's still one nuke left here as one is shot off by Ballistics.
Yeah, and the channeled nuke there is going to get a lot of is going to be a great position here for Ballistics now, not risking any of the nukes for their team. Only one at this point in time. Great Gus is going to get the isolation, the polymorph as well. Cleanse onto the Chen. He will be able to brew. Keep in mind, we've had enough time for the members to spawn. They're coming back. Zhengha has his Void Prison. He might be able to look for the engage. Great Oracle from Wubby. Will spot him out, though.
Schwimpy is on the chase for Zhengha. Polymorph from Smexy. Noblesse running into Quacknix with Lightning Rod on Swoy. And he's doing a ton of damage to Breaker. He takes them out.
Auto attack Falstad skills so hard. Nacho Jin blinks. He goes down. Schwimpy. Absolute playmaker here on that Tracer.
Okay, so now that we've watched the game and kind of seen it pan out very quickly, now we're gonna break down a lot of the things that are happening that mostly we don't focus on because the focus is so drawn towards, you know, the big thing that's happening. So right off the start, for me, an important thing is Quacknix with Wubby is going to play incredibly aggressive on this 3v2 to the point that Ballistics loses a 3v2 fight. Right? So we see here, a typical Falstad doesn't make this tumble. But in this case, Quacknix does because he knows two things. One, Brightwing can Z in, right? And he's probably screaming that Bright should Z in right now. The second is that Tyrael is on the way, okay? So he, I guess, knows kind of that it is a 3v3, but currently it's a 3v2, right? But with the protection of the task shield, he's fairly comfortable, okay? But Ballistics, knowing that Tassadar enables so well and noticing that Fnatic is not 13 yet, they are going to switch their focus onto the Tassadar, right? Instead of trying to kill the Falstad through the shields. But by doing so, Nacho ends up taking a ton of damage from Quacknix here. Almost dies. If this smite had hit, I think, a second sooner, then we would have seen this Li Ming go down, right? But we do see the Brightwing come in and the Tyrael. The thing that I kind of was talking about before, though, is that Tassadar is getting no support because everyone's thinking to themselves, protect the Falstad, protect the Falstad. And because of this, Task gets no help from his team. So we end up forcing Ancestral and then trading kills on Task and Zeratul. So Zeratul, as you can see, is going down right now. No Void Prism has been cast. Shwimpy does a really good job of killing him here with a sticky grenade, and because the support has been kind of pushed off, there's nothing to protect him. But again, there's nothing to protect Wubby right now, and Ballistics just collapses and kills this Tassadar. So we've now traded 1 for 1, but in this case, Zeratul I think is much more valuable because he is part of their engage, right? He's their pressure. He's what opens up doors for ETC and Chin to go in, and for like Li Ming to look for resets. Without that Zeratul pressure, Fnatic can kind of step up and attack, right, as they're doing here. They're doing a really good job too of kind of hitting this ETC from angles. Here, this ETC has a fairly good slide, but I don't think that he hits that slide because Shwimpy probably can just Q it. But you can see they're not giving like 3-man slides at all, right? And these two have been zoned out previously from that original trade. So we get Fawcett kind of caught out of position, but because Cleanse is so well timed, he's able to tumble down, and he actually tumbles correctly to kind of get away from the enemy, right? So now Quacknix is still fairly healthy. Fnatic's all fairly healthy. They do have Brightwing support, and again, there's no Zeratul to pressure and kind of like push a kill, right? The only way Fnatic dies here is if they get hit by a full Li Ming combo, but they're split so well that I don't see that happening. Soy makes a really good kind of decision to drop the nuke. This does two things too. It kills that well, so now Fnatic can't tap, and it's just, you know, gets the nuke off the table. So if they do lose and die here, then the nuke won't be able to be taken by Fnatic. So now this is kind of interesting, and I think this is an error on Fnatic's part. They're zoning for Brightwing to pick up the nuke, but Brightwing already has a nuke. So Fnatic realizes this pretty quickly, and you can see that here, that Brightwing can't pick the nuke up, so instead they opt to fight. And SE playing very aggressive. This is where Quacknix is going to get a lot of value again from his auto Falstad. For whatever reason, this is a grounding Bruchin, so he doesn't have evade, so Quacknix just is going to auto him down to almost death, and because of the ETC slide, he actually ends up getting away here. A good dodge from the orb. Again, the Li Ming damage is the only thing that's threatening right now to Fnatic. All this poke from Chin and ETC doesn't really matter because of the Brightwing heals. So now the TAS is back, and the Zertul's back. And they've kind of wasted this window where they had this 4v4 opportunity. And Fnatic, because they have TAS back, they just all of a sudden go incredibly aggressive here. And you can see, again, Quacknix is being really forward, like stepping into two people because he's not afraid with the TAS support. Breeze is buying infinite space down here. And we see Quack just auto down Swoy. Just basic auto attacks. I don't even know if he has his W on him. But again, just disrespecting the auto false stat damage. Breeze doing a great job of just buying infinite space. And now he's going to get helped out by the TAS and the Brightwing. He even had enough mana to Q out. Shwimpy with another really good sticky grenade sticks to the Li Ming here, and Li Ming goes down. And they pick up a double kill and end up winning the objective. So I think this is a really good fight. It's a very long fight, but Fnatic plays it very well. They stay split. They don't clump at all. You can see against the ETC, there's no clumping. Multiple people aren't getting hit by orbs, right? And they're pressuring Ballistics because that Zeratul pressure is gone. And then when the Zeratul gets there, they figure if we don't fight now, we're gonna lose. So they just full all in. And that aggression and that Falstad, you know, Swoy bites the Falstad their top and ends up getting caught on Rhaegar. because of the auto damage. So I really like that. So we're going to hop into the next fight now. And I think this is the one that most of you want to see. Okay, so the craziest thing about this boss contest for me is the fact that Ballistics is going into this with the assumption that it's 4 people there. They just saw Tassar mid, but they have no support and they have no damage. Because Li Ming and Rhaegar are just now spawning, and they're still deciding that they can contest this. So with this start, I think, of this fight, Ballistics already on the back foot, but they do play it pretty well. And so we're going to watch now kind of the fight take place, and then we'll go over it after we've watched.
15 and a quarter power spike, but they don't care. Ballistics is still looking to force this issue. Zhonghua with the Void. Tassadar is not there. Sanctification. Gus. Nukes go down. Void goes down. It's going to be timed perfectly. The nukes go in. Is it going to land? Breeze is in such a bad position.
Breeze just got hit by a nuke too. Breeze is going to go down.
Nobody's on point.
On the point. They have to put Smexy on the point. He goes into ice block. They've taken action.
So many nukes. And they get the boss. 4 for 3. Oh my gosh.
Will be rotated up in time, but now he's in trouble. He's struggling. Dimensional shift. Use Fnatic goes down. All 5 members.
As you can guess, this team fight at BlizzCon was one of the biggest ones, and as you can hear in the kind of background noise of the casters' microphones, it got a huge reaction from the crowd, and I think for good reason. This fight was well executed by both teams, and it was exciting. There was a lot of things happening. The map mechanic came into play. The kind of the positioning of the fight came into play. A lot of things happened here, and because of it, it was exciting to watch and a really cool fight. But we're going to break down what exactly is happening and kind of talk more about it right now. So to start, the Zeratul is going to kind of get a jump on Schwimpy, which, by the way, there's no Tassadar to kind of just shield him over and over. And because of this jump that he gets, we immediately put pressure on Fnatic, right? Even though this is a 4v3, Fnatic's kind of playing it like they're scared to fight. And we see here when Zeratul goes on this Tracer, the poly comes out, but he's still kind of stuck on him, right? And Quacknix is fairly back out of the fight, and so it's kind of like really a 3v3 going on at the moment. And this is the first kind of attempt at capturing the shrine. Okay, so the boss has fallen and Breeze sinks, and this is a good sink. This is a really strong sink. It allows you to stand on the point and basically fight the people without taking damage. And the idea here is that Quacknix is going to gust them off of the point, and they're going to get the boss, right? That would be the case if Zeratul didn't have Blink. And instead, Zeratul blinks onto the point, right? So now he's saved the point from being captured. Quacknix still hasn't really attacked this fight. This is a really good VP. Oh, it was a Vorpal Blade too. It wasn't even a Blink. So he Vorpaled onto the point because the Tracer went in, and now he blinked out of the nuke damage. And Noblesse does a really great play here and drops a nuke himself on top of the VP. And this is something that, like, when this map came out, a lot of people talked about doing this, like VPing and then nuking. And we see here that that's exactly what happens. It's really important too that Chin ults. I think he even tried to ult to avoid that nuke damage, but he's going to come out of this in his Panda Pals, and this is the most aggressive way for Chin to pressure the enemy team, right? So now we go for a slide through to one-shot the people that are on the point. Luckily, Tracer is a little more slippery and is able to escape, but Breeze is still kind of on the point, and the nuke is about to come on and slam on top of him. So you can see now Fnatic just all got hit by this nuke. This is 4 people getting hit by nuke damage. And for the most part, Ballistics is fairly healthy still. The only person that really has to worry is the Chin, and Chin is kind of, you know, in his Panda Pals. So as long as not all of them die, he'll be alright. ETC has a very aggressive stage dive. Ends up damaging Quack and Schwimpy. And now Tass is here, though. And we're about to see Tass shields come into play for Fnatic. You can also see that Zeratul is super chunked out and almost dead. But Soy's here and Li Ming is here as well. So we have Li Ming showing up. The support is showing up. And we're going to have a big fight. Tiro has just died. He's going to blow up on the point. And I think this right here is actually a huge moment. Noblesse goes to W Schwimpy. Let me watch this one more time. So this is a huge point that's going to happen. Is Noblesse is going to W Schwimpy here. You'll see it right now. When he jumps in, he W's Schwimpy. The problem with this is that he ends up knocking Smexy into the boss point. I don't think that Smexy would have gotten onto this point had he not W'd, but he does knock him into the point. And we're going to see Smexy ice block while the Tyrio blows up on all of the Chin Pandas. So now all the Chins have just died. So Chin is eliminated here. But on the flank, we have Nacho Jin pressuring the back line, and he's going to get a lot of resets here. One thing that I don't like is that Soy has not ulted the Zeratul, and I think that that's, for me, a fairly easy ult. And it should have happened way earlier than this. So Zeratul was kind of out of that fight this whole time, and now Soy is last second ulting him, right? ETC has just died. Wubby is here to shield Smexy. And now Wubby, play of the game, throws a wall that body blocks Zeratul from walking onto the point for half a second. And ends up, you know, fortifying this boss for Fnatic. So I think the downfall of Ballistics on this fight is the fact that, oh yeah, that's right, that happens too. At the very end, the little pods that spit out of the boss, Zeratul stepped on one and ended up dying as well. But I think the downfall of this fight was that when Rhaegar showed up, he did nothing. Like, he healed no one, he shielded no one, he ancestraled no one. Like, if he had just ancestraled Zeratul immediately, I think it would have gone for Ballistics' way. But overall, this was an insanely exciting fight, and I think one of the coolest ones that we've seen, as there's tons of interactions going on and a lot of people making really cool plays to kind of pull their team ahead. So we're going to hop into one more fight, and then we'll be done with the video. So with this fight, the important thing to note is that Zeratul did get caught, and a lot of it had to do with it. The ETC got caught before him. As you can see, both are currently dead. So Ballistics kind of staggered some deaths here. But they have to fight this. They have to contest this boss, because if Fnatic gets it, then they lose. Right? So this is a good decision by Ballistics to go and contest. And the beginning of this fight ends up going really well for Ballistics. It's not until Breeze dies that things go a little sour for them. So we'll start it up, we'll watch it, and then we'll talk about it.
Target to have it on. He is so difficult to be able to kill with that double E build. 13-16 Schwimpy is going to be going aggressive. They need to get these picks ancestral very early. Polymorph use.
There is the stage dive 2 on to Smexy, but he had his ice block available. Sanctification goes down to try to let Fnatic get a kill. Pulse bomb was down, but Stormward Fire allows Chin to stay safe. Breeze trying to get out for his life. He has no mana. He's been hit. Polymorph is no plus. Tyrio taken down, but he's going to go in with the passive.
Oh, but Schwimpy tries to tap the backline. He gets the recall. It's a 4-for-4. Wubby's in a bad spot. Again, he's hard to kill. Quacktix is not stopping. He gets the pick. The stun coming up. Keep in mind, Jung Ha is rotating right now. Zeratul is moving in. He has Is he gonna Gus? He's trying to save it for the boss. Noblesse eating a lot of damage. That void is only gonna hit one person, and that's not the target you want. Noblesse now in retreat. Quacknick says beef, it's what's for dinner. Will he get it? He gets the W, and he goes down. That's 5 people dead. I think Fnatic's been able to do it. They show signs of life. The nukes come out, and they're gonna be able to turn it around and make the series 1-2 for them.
So, as you can see, this fight went well for Fnatic. A lot of things seemed like they were going really bad. Again, when Breeze died, it started to look bad. No tank, no front line is sometimes difficult. The thing that really hits for me is that the Li Ming actually is in this fight. Or goes at least. And this is what ends up really hurting them. Because the Zeratil's not here, again, there's no damage buffer for Li Ming. And I say that in the sense that, like, the idea is that Zeratil goes in chunks while, you know, Chin's creating pressure. And then when the targets get weak enough, then the Li Ming can full commit to a combo and get a reset, right? But because there's no Zeratil here, we don't have that effect. Again, the Chin kind of is creating pressure on Breeze, and you see Nacho just blinked to play aggressive for the reset. But if they had the Zeratil or something, I don't think that Nacho would have used as much mana as he has to just to kill Breeze. And they do manage to, but as you can see here now, there is almost no mana left in his pool. And having to kill 4 people with this much mana is just not going to happen. And with this Tyrael death, Schwimpy makes a really great play. Blinks in right up to Soy, hits him with a grenade, kicks him because he's got the 20 talent. I can't even think of the name of it right now, but it immediately makes the bomb pop. And when the bomb pops, Tyrael pops and ends up picking up the kill on Soy. Soy actually ended up almost outplayed here, though. He was juking this way and then bit back to Schwimpy to try to get out of that Tyrael explosion, but it still does end up hitting him. And having the support go down is going to affect the sustain of their team. And again, Nacho is more or less going to be useless because of his low mana pool. He tries very hard to get on the Schwimpy, but he ends up being, you know, futile, and Quacknick kind of just chases him down as he has no protection, and they're not afraid of the Zeratil threat, right? The Zeratil threat is not there. Right now, if the Zeratil threat was there, it'd be a little different. But because it isn't, Fnatic really plays aggressive, plays nicely positioned into the 4v5, and ends up acing Ballistics and going on to win this game. So this was a really good fight by them. I really like their decision to just come off of the boss as well. Instead of trying to continue to do the boss, just fight them and then chase them down. And they played it pretty much perfectly. But this was a really exciting game and probably one of the favorites of most when it comes to BlizzCon. Fnatic just played so well, and for that reason, you know, they got the recognition that they deserved. A team that was Western beating a Korean team. And in this case, the best team currently in the game. So, really exciting, as you can see. Very exciting and well played by these guys. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. Appreciate it all so much for the support that you guys have been giving me. If you did enjoy, please make sure to throw a subscribe and like on the video. In the comments section below, if you want to kind of give me some advice on these videos in the future, I'd like to get an ability to like draw on the screen, but I don't really know how to get that feature as I'm just looking at my web browser. But if anyone has a suggestion for that too, I'd totally be down to kind of go over that. But that is going to be it. Again, follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Those will both be located below. And I will see you guys all next video. Cheers.